What up, bro? How you feeling?
We here, man. How you feeling,
I'm
man?
feeling good, bro. I'm feeling good. Definitely want to say welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Evolving Through Experience, where we discussing everything about evolving, growth in every aspect, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, and even beyond. Because at the end of the day, bro, this episode, you know what this episode is called? This is
Mm-mm.
life or death.
Life or death?
Yeah. This is a life or death episode because
Okay.
it's that serious to me. When I say evolving through experience, so I'm calling this life or death insurance. You choose.
Okay. Life
Yeah,
or
yeah,
death
yeah.
insurance.
You
Okay.
choose. You
And I
choose.
like the title too, evolving
No,
through experience.
appreciate it. I mean, it's only thing we can do. So, everyone, we have a special guest. My good friend, more brother, Keyon Keylock. Obviously, I'm gonna let them know why you used to call yourself Keylock. I know why,
Okay.
but I'm gonna let you explain it because you can explain it better than me. Go ahead.
So yeah, key lock. I've always had the concept of key lock in the back of my mind.
Mm-hmm.
We grew up in the hood. So when all my cousins, we used to go to school together. We would get off the bus or we would ride, to certain places together to baseball practice, and we would always see the nicest cars. Like I
Mhm.
think everybody in Atlanta, if you grew up, you used to say key lock this, key
Yeah.
lock this, and you used to point out the different cars or the different houses that you may see on the way to your destination,
Mm-hmm.
and you'd be like, okay, that's mine, and we would literally argue like it was ours. Like, no,
Yeah.
I said it first. So throughout the whole
Word.
concept, I'm just like, bro, like key lock everything.
Yeah.
Like I want to key lock everything. Wherever I point at, that's what I want. So I grew up in an experience that when we
Mhm.
were kids, like we sit in the van, key lock that. That's my car.
Yeah.
So that's where that came from.
You know what I also call that?
What?
Evolving through experience. You see how that's all your experience, but it got you to where you are today,
Yeah.
and you turned that into something positive,
Mhm.
and that's what it's about. So that's just actually one small part of what it's about. Obviously, bro, I know you do insurance.
Okay.
Let's talk about that because this is why you play such a vital role into what this is. Because one, life insurance, I know it's more than just life insurance, but we're just going to focus on life insurance right
Mhm.
now because obviously life insurance is such a vital thing for our people and really anybody in general. We know how many communities have been able to become wealthy off of life insurance,
Mhm.
but this is why evolving through experience plays a major role because at the end of the day, it's not just down to the financial side of paying for life insurance, getting a
Mhm.
check if somebody passed or when somebody passed, because obviously we know death is inevitable.
Yeah.
So being that evolving through experience is just about everything overall growth. It's like we have to change our mindset. We have to change our habits all around. Like I said, it's not just from life insurance, but this is a physical thing. This is a mental thing. This is a spiritual thing, emotional thing. And like I said, beyond because it's down to how we eating, how we thinking. Because at the end of the day, if it's not something that's helping us benefit us to move us forward in any of those aspects, it's not even it shouldn't even be an option.
Exactly.
And that's why I call it life or death because life insurance it plays a role with this because with this I also see how this is a healthcare company for me, bro.
Mhm.
I started off with just focusing on mental health because that's what got me to wanting to come up with this entire brand. But well, like I said, when everything's evolving, is I'm at a point now where this is a health insurance. I mean, a life healthcare company because
Mhm.
it's not just one aspect. So down to how I want people to think, helping people overcome certain situations. I know if you've seen some of the previous episodes or whatnot when we first started in 2018. I know you've asked me when I first had it. I fell off because I started focusing on other things.
Yeah.
But this is so important because, like I said, I'm trying to change lives here, changing people that's been in some crazy situations. And like I said, when I say crazy, I mean I'm gonna get into it like all type of different situations that you'll think like how can you survive that? But instead of focusing so much on the trauma, I want to focus on how people been able to overcome it. So that's why I call it, like I said, it's a healthcare company because
Yeah.
I'm covering all aspects. So eventually, I want to have I want to do life insurance under it because like I don't want to just give people the intangibles. Obviously, the intangibles are what we're talking about, what's
Yeah.
gonna get you forward. But now let's put some real tangibles as well behind it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I think that is very important for people to understand,
Mm-hmm.
especially when they get older.
Yeah.
Like when you're talking about life insurance, I think it's a very cliche. And I can say this because when I first got into the industry, I had no idea.
Mhm.
Like I'm like life insurance, oh, this is so boring.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with it. And I wasn't convinced to do
Mhm.
it. I just had somebody show me, hey, this is what it is, and I started to do research. And I say, you know what? I was selling so many different things since I was 17 years old. That's when I started entrepreneurship. And I said, how can I get to a space where I sell something real? Like, I know for a fact, guaranteed, that this could change this person's life. I've sold a lot of products and convinced somebody, hey, listen, this is going to change your life and all this different stuff. But I've never been in a situation where I say, hey, listen, this is really going to change your life 100%.
Agree.
So.
Nah, for sure. And with that being said, I want to ask, like, because just like I said, just from the life insurance aspect, how do we have these conversations? Because even with me, and like I said, I'm being transparent because this is what it's about, showing people the other side and letting them know, like, this is life or death again. So how do you feel we have these conversations with our family members, whether they're older or younger, about getting life insurance, the importance of life insurance? Because I know I'm going to go into the statistics a little later, but how do we start having these conversations? Because they're hard conversations, I know.
It's definitely hard conversations, but it's a mature conversation, right? You can't get to a space to where you get older and mature and you don't understand certain concepts in life, right? Such as taxes, right? Yep. You don't understand the whole idea of taxes, but you know you better pay it. You know what I'm saying? You don't know the whole concept of why you need to get insurance on your car, but you know if you don't have it, you would go to jail. So it all starts with whoever is the head of the household. I will always believe that. And it all starts with the ideas and the goals of the family. This shouldn't even really be a hard conversation. It's just a conversation that makes sense. So it starts off with whoever's the head of the family. Like, hey, listen, everybody in this family, this is what we're about to do as a family. Because wealth is built as a family. You can get rich by yourself, but true wealth is built as a family. And it's impossible. Like I remember when I first got into business, and I'm thinking of all these ways on how to make $1 million. Do you know life insurance has never popped up in my mind? But you know how many funerals I've been to over the last 5 years?
That part.
And that's nobody, not one person has passed on $1 million. To me or my family, right?
Yeah.
So it's just certain things that it just makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like, dang, like,
facts.
You don't even need to be smart to make $1 million. Like, y'all thought the lottery was a lick. Life insurance is a real lick.
Yeah, facts.
You telling me I can pay $50 a month and nobody would know?
Bro, tax-free too. Did I tell you why I got life insurance?
No.
Let me tell you why I got life insurance. This was, obviously I knew about getting life insurance before, but way before I met you. But at the end of the day, I wanted to get it once I had my son. Beforehand, I knew how important it was. But you know, I'm young. I'm feeling like, yo, I got nothing but time. I'm moving around the world, literally traveling different places, Australia. I'm just having fun doing what I want. I'm like, yo, I know I need to get life insurance, but I kept putting it off. So finally, when I had my son, I'm like, I told you it's time to buckle down. I know you asked me that one time at your crib about it, and it was like, yo, I can't play with this no more. And at the end of the day, it is life or death. So I wound up getting life insurance because at the end of the day, I didn't want to be in a position where I leave here and I'm only leaving him less than $100,000 or $200,000 in assets. Like, one, that's way too much. I'd rather have that plus some, and then also it's tax free if he does decide to liquidate it. Well, it's obviously gonna be liquidated for the life insurance. So that's why I got life insurance, because it's like I know the importance of, one, leaving something behind. I didn't want to, God forbid, anything happen to me and I'm not here. I wanted to make sure him and his mom is straight, regardless if I'm here or not. Not having to struggle or try to figure things out or trying to get and that's even something now I got to do, is like even making sure my assets are moving to a trust, because I don't want it to be in probate court. And I'm seeing that even with me dealing with real estate, how long probate and then what they take out of it, being able to see everything you own, all your debt, is ridiculous.
It's crazy.
So at the end of the day, it's like, I can't play with this.
Exactly.
And like, that's why I said this episode is so important, because these are the real conversations that we need to be having. Like you said, I'm glad you said it. You said this shouldn't even be a hard conversation. And I just said that kind of to somebody the other day. It's like, you can't be afraid of death. Like, it's inevitable. So why be afraid of it? If anything, prepare for it. Do you seen the first Black Panther, right? Obviously.
Yeah,
okay.
I've seen it.
So
I may not remember it.
Okay. Now, do you, if you do remember the part where T'Challa was in the motherland, and the after he had to take the drink or whatever, and then he went to visit his ancestors in the West End, and he was crying. He was like, if I failed as a father if I didn't prepare you for death. That stuck with me. It's like,
wow,
it's inevitable. So why would I not prepare my life or my kids or my family for something that's gonna happen regardless? And I've even heard this. Probably, I'm sure you heard this too. I heard the ridiculous thing that, oh, somebody's like, I'm not getting life insurance. Why would I leave my kids a lot of money? They need to work for it. What? Yo, like, have you heard something like that before?
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much. I don't deal with clients like that, but I've heard.
No,
it
for sure. Because the mindset is already missing right there. So nah, but now I want to go into the statistics. As far as I got it up here somewhere too. I know, if I'm not mistaken, how many it's let's just say it's been a lot. I know it's been, like, let's just say over 200 people, black people alone, that's been killed in the last within like 2019 or something. So I know we was talking about this, like, why everybody should get life insurance. For example, that's one. I think when I did the math, if everybody got $1 million policy, it don't even have to be $1 million. I think it could be 500,000, right? Let's just say all of the people that got killed had a policy for at least 500,000 that got killed within that time frame. You know, they would, the industry, not the life insurance, but like Wall Street, because you all know, it's tied together. They would have lost like over $1 billion. Like, I think when I did the math, it was like over 20 billion. And I know you spoke about that before, but you can go more into detail how, if everybody had life insurance, how it could change the trajectory of us always getting killed and nothing being done about it.
No, exactly. And like, I won't even say everybody. I would say if black people really had life insurance, by 2053, there was an article like a few years ago that Forbes put out, and they were stating that by 2053, the black net worth is going to be zero. And why would it be zero? It's because those assets are not necessarily protected. We don't understand what's an asset. Like, we think, okay, just because we got this jewelry in this car and we could pay it off, it's an asset. Not necessarily. When people are in a situation to where they understand, okay, like, what is my actual net worth? What can I, how much can I actually pass down if I was to leave? That would be a totally different conversation.
Yeah.
So let's say, for example, all those people, they passed away, okay, and that institution did pay out $1 billion. Do you how hard do you think it's going to take for that corporation to come up with $1 billion? It's not going to be that hard. And they're not going to look at it as if, oh my God, we run out of pockets. Because the way that life insurance works, of course, it's a company. It's going to benefit the company. Of course, because it's odds. Everybody's not going to pass away at the same time.
Correct.
So that's why you see these institutions, they have no problem saying, hey, listen, for $50 a month, we'll cover you for $500,000. For $100 a month, we'll cover you for $1 million. Because they understand, they've already done the odds. They've already done every test and trial over the last 200-300 years. And they understand that every person that gets that money is not going to do right with it, right? They're going to disperse that money back to the people who sent it out to them anyway.
That part, unfortunately.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
But the main portion about this is, that's why I believe everything ties together. You can't talk about wealth without credit. Can't talk about wealth without life insurance. You can't talk about wealth without taxes and all this different stuff. It all comes together. But the main focus would necessarily be, okay, what to do with that money, right? If you was in a situation where you would have passed away and you got to get that money back, you got to pass over those funds to your family. Are they going to pay off this $500,000 home, right? Get themselves out of debt?
Yeah.
Are they going to pay off all the cars? Are they going to put this money into an annuity, which is going to accrue interest over time? Or are they going to buy all this different stuff? Are they going to buy stock? So that would be the main portion, right? So
That's
getting the money, it's easy. All you got to do is just go get a policy.
Yeah.
But the main thing every person should be thinking about is, okay, once we get that money, how can I groom and teach my family what to do with that money after?
No, agree.
There's certain cultures that I've had the privilege. I say it's a privilege because certain levels of thinking I never thought about it. Sat down with a family and they say, hey, listen, this is the great grandmother. She has 4 grandchildren. All 4 of them pay a certain amount. We say $500 a month for that policy, which is $1 million policy on the great grandparent. That policy is $1 million. Once that person passed away, each of those people that were paying that $500 a month, they look at it, of course, it's an investment. We can't say it's an investment, but it's an investment. I'm paying $500 a month to get $1 million. Once that person passed away, which is guaranteed for them to pass away, each of us will get $250,000. What we're going to do with that $250,000? Now we're going to start businesses.
That's what matters.
Now we're going to pay off debt. Now we're going to invest. Now we're going to do so many different things that's going to allow us to be free. So you trying to start a business with zero. Imagine trying to start a business with $250,000.
It's going to definitely be a big help.
A major help.
And then, like you said, even having like you said, having those conversations and understanding, like, we're not here to blow this. We're here to invest this, use this wisely. And I think even the process of investing in and understanding and managing everybody putting in money, I think that's part of helping it as well. So I'm glad you said that, because I was just thinking about it in the sense of, unfortunately, us that's got killed, a lot of us that's gotten killed for no reason at all, and it's just swept under the rug alone, that would have an effect. But I think, would you agree that it would help slow that down as well? If knowing insurance companies know if this officer killed this guy and they're constantly doing it, but now they have to pay out $1 million policy for every single person that they done it to, their family, do you think that would slow it down?
Well, indirectly, it won't slow it down, right?
Okay.
It would slow it down in a sense to where it will allow people to change their environments.
Okay.
Right? So let's say, for example, a person, you see a person you see a person that's very close to you pass away. They pass on $1 million to their family. You're not going to stay in their environment no more. You're not going to think the same no more. You're not going to rob people no more. You're not going to really do. See, the problem with finances is people start to do some crazy things when you broke. And when you broke, you're gonna risk your life. You're gonna do what you're gonna be a lot more angrier, right? I'm not that angry if I got $1 million. I'm sorry. Whatever the beef is, it don't even matter no more. You know,
you got bigger fish to fry.
It's going to affect people in a situation where their posture is going to be different, to where they're gonna say, you know what, dang, this person passed away. I just got $1 million. Let's go ahead and let's buy the block. Let's go ahead and clean the streets up. Because if you don't think that makes a difference in how a person reacts emotionally,
agree.
When you walk outside your house and you see all this trash and you see random dogs walking around and you got all this, it's going to make you angry as a person subconsciously. You're not even going to understand it. But once that money get passed on, that's why it's all about how you actually spend the money. Once that money get passed on, let's say this mother, right? I've been fortunate enough to see this, up front. Let's say this mother gets this money, $1 million. She's not going to stay at the same place. She's not going to let another son lose his life. She's going to take that money and she's going to leave that city.
Agreed.
And the likelihood of that person still living is going to change.
Yeah.
So that's how I look at the situation. So it's very important for us to not just get the life insurance, but understand that, like, yo, this could change the whole dynamic of our culture. Because we in a situation where if I get this money, number one, I ain't got to tell nobody. I ain't got to tell the IRS. I ain't got to tell my friends, my family. I ain't got to tell nobody.
Correct.
I can take this money and go.
No, I'm glad you said that, because like I said, and that's really what it is about evolving, because you just gave me a whole different perspective, and I wasn't even thinking about that. I'm just thinking it on, like I say, quote unquote, small scale of just like trying to stop us from being killed. But you just gave a whole nother perspective, and I think that's vital. So I appreciate you sharing that as well.
Another thing I do want to highlight as well is I think that we also have to understand as a culture who runs the culture, right? Shareholders runs the culture. When you guys understand that, we ain't talking about no color. Right? We're talking about shareholders. So you got to be in a situation where you understand that, okay, whatever company that's, pissing you off so bad or killing you or killing us, if you want to say that, you have that much power to put so much money to that company to where you can own that company and make the decisions. So the companies that are funding the police, the companies that are funding all of this real estate that's being put up in our neighborhoods or these prisons, we all have the ability to purchase those assets. Why? Because they're public companies. Correct. Any public company can be owned by any community, any entity, any person. So that's another thing that we got to also think about with money. So if our culture was to get that money, flooded into our communities, are we just going to give it to them and hand it to them? Or are we going to hand it to them by saying, hey, listen, here's $1 million, but we want a couple shares. Yeah. And when you make a decision, this is what you want to do, you're going to have to call us first because we're majority shareholders.
Correct. That's how you play the big game, the long game. Nah, I appreciate that, bro. Just broke it down for everybody. So with that being said, I want to ask you this: what's like a good number? Anybody right now, just to say a good number, like a minimum number as far as premium wise, somebody could pay to get, let's just say, $100,000 to $500,000 in life insurance. And obviously, with that being said, making sure that we are on top of, like you said, the financial literacy, having a plan with it after the fact.
So it all depends upon your age.
Okay.
Right? I've had policies for 18-year-olds, $10 a month.
Yeah.
$15 a month, covering a 15-year-old for $50,000, $100,000, $15 a month. Right?
That's whole life or term?
Whole life.
That was
and
whole,
term.
Okay.
It's
okay.
both.
Okay, both. Okay,
both,
cool.
Right? Both are, people say, this one is more expensive, this is not. It don't matter. Get whichever one fits for you at the moment. You can have as many policies as you want.
Yep.
So it all, of course, it does depend upon your age. It does depend upon your health. It does depend upon where you are, region wise, on how much it is. But one thing I would definitely say is you look at it based upon your budget. What can you actually afford? What are you earning? right? And you will always base the actual, not just the premium, but you will also base, if you're a real mature person and you know, you're starting a family, all this different stuff, you need to make sure you have 10 times your annual income.
Yeah.
Okay. That's usually the number. Now, if you just want to leave something 10 times your annual income, if you want to go to another level, not only do you make sure it's 10 times your annual income, it's 10 times everybody in the family, every person that you ever reached to. And if you're in a situation where, they don't want it, okay, you pay it for them then.
Yeah.
Just had a conversation. You get a policy on
Just
them.
take them out the trust though. They don't want to pay. Nah, I'm weak. No, for sure. I asked that because I think life, these type of conversations, in the sense of when it comes down to financial, could scare people away. So I'm gonna be transparent. Yeah, I'm gonna say it anyways. I wasn't gonna say it, but I personally have $1 million. One of my insurance policies. I just got one. One of them is $1 million, and personally, I pay no more than $60 a month. Like, so it's just like that $60 a month to confirm $1 million. God forbid I leave anytime soon.
Worth it.
It's definitely worth it.
It's definitely
and I say that because I want people to understand, like, that's how easy it is to sign up. Like $60 a month, you can make that in a day, a few hours. Like all you do is go do something. You can make $60 if you just got to pay that on a monthly basis. So over the course of the next 30 years or beyond, and if I extend it or whatever, I'm still good. Like it's never gonna even touch 100,000 like alone. So it's like the fact that you're risking this a little bit to pretty much hit $1 million, you're good type thing. So I definitely just want to like put that out there because I think, like I said, those type of things could scare people away.